Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS Behind the Song, episode number 4. It's back! And today we are looking at Russ8889's Concord song. So buckle in, let's kick off with the track, just so you know all about the song. Oh, yeah. Howdy do. Welcome to the show. Good to see you all. If you're watching on Facebook, well, that's your problem. You need to work that out. You can come over here to youtube.com/JadeStarr, or you can watch the show daily today, right now, on the website at howtoaponios.com, or you can watch the show on twitch.tv/howtoapp-on-iOS. So those are all the places you can watch live. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the show. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome somebody you may know or you may not know, but you certainly will know after this show. Russ8889, my friend, welcome to the show. How are you going today?
How you doing? I'm good. I hope everyone's well in the chat tonight.
Yeah, indeed.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you all for being here. We'll say hello to you all a little bit later. We're going to jump in as soon as possible. We've got a lot to cover today, right? So we've got heaps to do. Firstly, just want to let you all know that the show is sponsored. Do I have to do it over there? Over there. By DistroKid. So you can click on my link in the description to save 7% off your DistroKid account. We're going to be looking a little bit more at DistroKid later in the show and all the cool tools that you get with DistroKid to promote your music. Yeah? Promote. Not only upload, but promote. So let's jump over to our trusty iPad screen if everything is still working. There we go. Hey, it's all working, Russ. Chaos. This song that you just heard, Concord, produced by Russ, was created in a different DAW that some of you may not be aware of. It was created in NanoStudio 2. So we're going to be looking at NanoStudio 2 today as I scroll and try and find it on my iPad amidst all these apps. This is NanoStudio 2 as I open it up. Russ, tell us a little bit about why you use NanoStudio 2.
Well, the reason that I mainly use NanoStudio 2 was when I originally first bought the iPad, the two programs that were most prevalent for it was the original Cubasis and NanoStudio. And because I normally have come up from a dance music background, NanoStudio has got like an MCP player type sampler on it, which I'm more used to using. So Cubasis is slightly different how it does all the samples and stuff. And for me, Cubasis, the actual piano roll is very difficult for me to use in it because the screen moves around a lot on it. And now since I can't use my right hand to do the stuff on, it's so important that I'm able to edit in the piano roll easily. So that's probably the main reason why I use NanoStudio. I sort of went from NanoStudio 1 and it was the obvious choice to use NanoStudio 2. Although I've still got Cubasis and a lot of the other DAWs that are popular, for me personally, being able to only use my finger is key to just being able to use the edit roll in NanoStudio easily.
Awesome. Yeah, I've just got hold of NanoStudio 2. Some of you may know from our Clubhouse exploits, so it's all new to me operating this thing. So Russ has kindly sent me his tracks for this particular song. And as you can see, there's not a lot of tracks here straight off the bat. So what do we got? So I think it's 20 that are listed here, but not all these are tracks that are actually in the final mix. So you want to run through what some of these tracks are?
Okay, I'll have a look on my thing here. So we got a few iSymphonics tracks. They just come in, as you can see, they're on the first three tracks. They're right at the end. So it's just to, as the track fades out, it's just to give it a little bounce and sort of accentuate everything as it fades out. What else am I using?
So they
drum
were brass tracks, those ones. They were brass tracks. I just had a quick play of those.
Yeah, it's just to give it a little lift on the way out as it ends. It just rises it. And then the drum track I actually exported from using GarageBand. So it was the first time I've ever used drums in GarageBand, because I needed, for this track, more of like a rock drum feel. And a lot of the electronic music I make doesn't necessarily use rock drums. I've got a couple of apps that have got rock drum machines in them, but it's more of a straightforward track from GarageBand. I've then processed it and then sampled them in as big samples. So they're basically put into the slate sampler and not as a normal drum track where I would program them in, say, a dance track or other tracks that I do. So for this, the Delicate Giants projects are more musical because I use my cousin who plays guitar. So I try and make them, like the idea is to be sort of Pink Floyd-y, Jean-Michel Jarre, sort of a cross between electronic music and like real instruments. I'm then using
so we've got a continuum.
Yeah, continua gets used in there. Only gets used for a small section in the middle. That's just there you go. If you hold the key down, it's just like it gives it just some. It's just to give it some back sounds that sort of flitter off in the background.
A bit of tingling, a bit of excitement underneath, an undercurrent of excitement.
It's just another layer to add to the feel of the track. I use OBXD, which is quite a good app if anyone hasn't got it. It comes with a lot of sounds in there. I'm probably using like a string sound, and I've got that slightly affected. I've also got another OBXD layered with it to again just emphasize them particular chords. There'll be a slightly different sound with slightly it's just to give it a feel underneath, because a lot of my music is all about layering. So layering sounds is like not my trick, but I like to layer different sounds just to give it a wider feel. What else are we using? We're using Bleace Alpha.
Bleace Alpha. Here it is.
Again, it's just gives it a little background element. It only comes in twice, very fractionally, but it just drags off on the end of the bars just to give them a bit of a feel. I've got a thing that I've called the click track. Now I'm using Shaka by Clevgrand, and it just plays a rhythm in between it. So the shaker that I'm using from Shaka like gives a certain rhythm, and this just actually fills in the rhythm in between it. So it's just not just to sort of mix up that continuous beat all the time.
I'm just bringing it back.
What else am I using?
Just bringing it back to the Shaka track, so we can play a bit of it. I've soloed it. There we go. Cha cha cha.
Yes.
And I'll bring in that click track as well, because I didn't understand what the click track was doing. I was like, is that meant to be there?
It's just subtle, but it's just again, just to throw another sound in your ears.
There you go. So there's those. We're going to open these up in a different project soon as well, folks.
Yeah.
Just unsolo these.
I've then got a strummer, which, if you look at the strummer track, is actually muted out.
Yeah.
And that's because I've actually used the strummer guitar. I've put it through like Altessa or a similar app of that nature, and I've actually sampled it back into NanoStudio using Slate with the effect on the guitar already. So if you open up, it says guitar with shimmer.
Yep.
There'll
I'll
be.
just make sure that strummer's back to muted. Yep. And
you should see some tracks in Slate that are sampled. If you click on that, if you double tap.
Let's just hit play on that.
I know you.
There we go.
So it's. So that's using like the app strummer, just using like what's in there. There's a minor and an F chord. Just strike him, and it's just to give it a different, like an affected guitar under the main actual guitar that's going on. So them tracks we'd be putting just to kind of lift from what the main guitar's playing. It just gives it another effect. It sounds like there's two guitar players on the track then, rather than just one guitar on it.
I'm going to bring in all the guitars now, so we can have them all together. Let's see. So we've got that one. So that's at main 19 and 20.
I mean the biggest downfall with NanoStudio, okay, so to hear the whole guitar, you'd have to take it back to where the purple thing starts right at the beginning.
Yeah. That's right.
And this is downfall with NanoStudio. This is what makes NanoStudio tricky compared to something like Cubase or GarageBand, because it will actually write in the WAV file. The way I work, by putting a big long sample in, means every time I want to add another sound in over what's there, I have to go back to the beginning and play it all the way through. So it's a long process to do it for me. But it's the way I know how to work. It's probably not the best way to work, for sure. But, I mean, kind of, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's the one problem with NanoStudio. So, look, if you are going to look at NanoStudio, you have to be aware that it's great for MIDI and importing samples, but you can't record audio into it. That is the big downfall of it. But as you said, like, and like with a lot of iOS recording, I'll leave this playing. I'll just turn it down. You have to kind of work around your limitations, and there's a lot of limitations that do pop up on iOS, unfortunately. So, and this is a perfect example of how you've done that.
Yeah, I mean, the original NanoStudio one was the same way. Okay, so there's like a heavier guitar comes in on the other track.
Yep, that's track 20. So you can hear those distorted screams there.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit how because it's incredible what you did to get these guitars, because it's quite an interesting way that you've got your cousin actually to play on this.
Okay, so
I'll just pause this. We'll have a chat. Let's do that.
So, believe it or not, I send the original track through just iPhone Messenger, so it's just like getting the text message. My cousin gets a text message with like an M4 track. Then he listens to it in his headphones, and here will go, okay, like I can hear something. He would go up into his studio / room where his guitars are. He will plug in his guitar, and he will plug it into quite an old app. It's let me see what it's called. It's just called Multitrack. So it's been around on iOS for quite a long time. So he literally plays the guitar, plays the track that I've sent him in his headphones, and he plays guitar and he just records it on that multi-track. So here I have the guitar playing in his headphones, and he just played the guitar on it.
Is it
and then
one?
He'd get, he used Matt Retractor. So then he will just, you can copy that file and he'll send it back to me as a text in an MP4 format. So it's not high quality, like kilohertz or anything like that. It's just a very low, regular MP4 sample. And then he will send me the guitar over the track I've done additionally. So there'll be one track with just the guitar on its own, and then one track with the actual him playing the guitar over the track. So I know in NanoStudio where to cue the guitar in when he starts playing. So that's just a reference that he sends me. I sample, you can see it's ghosted in your track. So there's just like a short track that is just going to play everything all together, all that I've done with the guitar, but it just gives me a reference where the actual guitar starts playing. And then from that, he plays the guitar. Sometimes I have to chop up the guitar into smaller samples. This track, he played guitar all the way through it. And what's incredible for my cousin is he would just sit down and within 10 minutes of me sending him the song, he'll send me back the guitar. So he listens to it once, goes up, plays his guitar over it, and then goes, there you go. Now, it's up to me to, I then look at the sample and I go in and I reduce or cut out all the string noise. So when he's playing on the guitar, there'd be like fret noise of lifting off the strings. And so I have to go in and I go through the whole sample and just make sure all them noises are muted out of the actual sample so you don't hear it.
That's dedication.
Yeah. Like when we first started working together, my cousin would put a little bit of effect on the guitar so he could hear what was going on, because it's hard to play a clean guitar over a track like this. You don't know what it's going to sound like. Like when you play guitar, you've got the delay and stuff going on, so you know how long to hold a note. So as we've been working together, he's realised that, actually I can't embed effect on it because I put the effects on it on my end. I had the shimmers, I had the delays, I had the reverbs. So it's difficult for him in the respect of, like, he's not using effects that he can hear how long to leave a gap in the track. He just has to kind of judge that there's going to be a delay in there or that's going to reverb off. But we've got a relationship working together where he kind of knows what I'm going to be doing with the track, so he leaves the space in it for me to put on the effects. And the screaming guitar bits will just be samples out of the original guitar part that he played that didn't work as the track was going on. I've pulled them samples out, put spaces in the actual guitar track, and then used them as separate bits in different places to where he played it. So if I played you the actual guitar that he sent me, it wouldn't sound anything like that track at all, really. It would be, the screaming guitar bits might come in, you know, a quarter of the way through the track. It's me extracting them parts out and then putting in like silent scaps and then re-importing them somewhere else. So it's a tricky way to work.
Yeah, it's time consuming, it's intricate, and you know what? It works. And, you know, there is no correct way. That's what this show is about, too, to show people there is no correct way to do things. There's the way that works for you. And clearly, by your songs, it works.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm actually planning to. My cousin actually lives up in Norfolk, and I live in London, and I'm planning to go and see my cousin so we can sit down and, you know, maybe we can thrash out a bit, you know, record a bit of stuff, and we've not got long to do it. We're just going to get an idea, and we're going to see if using something like GarageBand would work for him. But in the truth be told, my cousin's the person that doesn't want to faff about with what's going on. He just wants to play a guitar. He plays his guitar in live bands, so he's not used to like studio recording, like sitting down and multi-layering tracks and doing it in GarageBand and saying, for him, takes all the inspiration away. So, like, if it's not going to work, you know, I'd just sack it, because what we're doing at the moment kind of works.
Yeah. So there's a couple of other tracks here that I'll just go over. So there's an MU Waverly track, which I'll just play for a second. There it is. So it's really subtle too.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's just tiny.
It's like a little pixie jumping through the grass. And you've got, I'm going to bring in this other one, you've got this cello stack. So this is an instrument that is actually within this app. Let me solo this in as well. I think we'll go back. Here it is. It'll come in here.
Yeah, rather than being like a normal cello sound, it's actually played high up the keyboard and sounds more kind of fluty. But I didn't want to use like a regular flute sound. Like it. The sounds I use are fairly stock sounds, but it's the way you use them. I use them in a slightly different way that you wouldn't normally play them. So you kind of get, like, a cello is quite low and, you know, how a cello would normally sound. To play it up there is out of its kind of frequencies that you're used to hearing the cello in. And that just makes it a kind of more unique sound.
Yeah, and you have another technique making music too, which I found really interesting and I wanted to touch on. And then I'm going to put all these tracks together and we'll play it from the start, and I'll just bring stuff in and out of this because I have the project and I can mess with it now and do whatever I want to it. It's mine now. And again, thank you, Russ, for sharing the project with myself and with everybody. It's really kind of you to do that. But you use a technique where, like, look, I do a show here where we talk about apps every day, and, you know, and I try and put through to people, you don't have to have every app. You have to have the apps that will help you, that will make sense to you, that you'll get the most use out of. And I know it's really hard because it's so tempting to want every app. And, you know, I have all these apps. I can talk, but, you know, a lot of developers send me these apps. I still pay for them. But you tend to, like, do a song and use an app that you haven't used before. You fill a song with a whole bunch of apps that you haven't used before. Can you tell us a little bit about that method?
Yeah, I mean, Doug's obviously responsible for me buying lots of apps.
Thanks, Doug.
What I found was, by a creature of habit, I end up with a lot of apps on my iPad, you know, and I have apps that I haven't, and some apps I haven't used for years. So every track I do it's like the sort of getting married sort of scenario. I try and use an app from maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because people will have forgotten about using them apps. We're all like chomping at the bit for the latest sounds. So I try and use an app that's really old. So the sounds on it are unfamiliar. They're not sounds that you would initially recognize. It's very easy to use something like SynthMaster because there's so many great sounds on it. But once you start using SynthMaster, I've found that you can normally sort of think, oh yeah, that's a SynthMaster track, you know?
Yeah.
So I try and use something. I'm not saying I don't use SynthMaster because I do, but I try and use something that's maybe 5 years old, something that's just come out, you know, the latest kind of app that's there, like, you know, the new stuff that gets released. You know, there's normally one app a month that's released that's usable. I like a lot of string sounds. So I try to grab something there, and then from all the different synths that I've got, I will go and I'll pick a synth. I'll just go, right, today I'm going to use DX7, or I'm going to go and use granular synth, or I'm going to go and use, you know, I still use synths like Sunriser, you know, so I will go back and I'll pull out synths that just don't really get the time and attention like they used to get. And they're all synths that I used to use on a regular basis. So I just have like not a rotation, but I make sure that they get used and just not forgotten about. I mean, I still even pull out like old drum machines and use different sounds from older drum machines, and people are like, wow, that's where'd you get that sound from? And I'll be like, oh, yeah, but none of them are new. They're new old sounds, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, everything old is new again.
You know? Yeah, because it's so easy with iOS, because there's so much good stuff coming out on iOS, to get caught up in just using all the latest gadgets. And, you know, I will use, once I've used a sound, I'll never use it again. Like, I don't have go-to sounds that are, and it's almost the same. I've got probably 5 effects that I will use and pull in on a fairly regular basis, but I will also jump around and use totally different effects just for the sake that I know it's going to give what I'm doing a different sound. Like, you know, if I'm putting a shimmer on it, I'll use, you know, there's a few shimmer apps, so I will pick a shimmer from a different app, like even something like TV Reverb has shimmers in it. So I'll use a shimmer from that rather than use like an Altessa, or, you know, 4-pocket shimmer, or, you know, even the shimmers from Eventide. So I don't have apps that I use all the time. I mean, not even, unbelievably, Black Hole, because it makes everything sound good. But again, I try not to use it all the time because I don't want to be dependent on it, and you kind of get to know the sound of Black Hole. So it's good to use something a bit different just to hear a difference, you know?
Absolutely. Before I play this track, we'll say hello to folks here, and I'll just say thank you to Guzzo of Oz for the kind super chat. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. Let's say hello to some people who are here, because there's a whole lot of you, and I thank you all for being here. I'm just going to scroll up to the top, and we'll fly down and see who's here. So hello to Doug, Gary Hubbs, Joe, Colin, Tom Rochelle, Nina, Adam Burst, guys of Oz, who just said, God, Jamie Mallender, Dean Thomas, Pay and to Get, Kim Harden Hardson, Scott. Wow, there are so many of you here today. Let me keep going through. Dr. Zord, I'll have to do it. Dr. Zorders. Who else do I have here who I haven't said yet? As a scrolling down. Audible Video, hello to you. Metalhead Hippie, hello. Boom. I had to get one boom in, didn't I? Who else is here? Let's see. Jeez, my eyesight's terrible. There's the super chat message, which comes very late on my screen. Sai is here as well. Hello to you, Sai. I hope you're doing well. Andy Affleck, hello to you. If I've missed anyone, I'm desperately trying to. Is it really you? Is it me you're looking for? I think I've covered most people. Brad Example, hello to Brad Example as well. Globe Flicker, hello to you. If I've missed you, just say hello right now and I'll catch you at the bottom of the screen. All right, so let's GB Craw as well. I can see you there. I can see you through my magic mirror today. Thomas Gillane, hello Thomas. All right, so let's play this. So I'll bring this up here, and what I'll do is I'll mess around with the volumes and stuff. Now, just so you are all aware, so Russ sent me this project, and some of the apps I was missing. Thankfully, some great developers sent me out some of the apps to make sure I had everything for this, but some of the effects are missing from this. But I think it's only one effect, and it's only
I think it's like cloud reverb might be missing.
Yeah, I think it's something very minuscule, but we're going to cover that in the next kind of section. So it's back at the start. Let's hit play, and you can see here what's going on. We've got two tracks that open. So this Electro Cream track, which we didn't cover before. And now that I've stopped it, now I wanted to show you that. See, when you solo a track, because we've got tracks starting at the beginning. If you solo a track and then unsolo it, all the other tracks stop playing. So you have to go back to the start. This is one of the disadvantages with using NanoStudio. And sure, you may go, oh, damn it, you suck for that. It's a disadvantage, but, there's always a disadvantage to everything. So let's go back to the start. And I won't be soloing again. I just wanted to show people that. But I can mess with the volumes. So you can tell us, your mindset behind the song while we're going, if you want,
mindset behind the song.
Yeah, what kind of feeling were you trying to create with this?
Would it sound really rubbish if I said I don't really know? I don't know until I start a track what it's gonna come out like. Like I will have. So there's it's like an arpeggiator that I think the NanoStudio's playing, the Cream sound. So the Cream sounds I got by using Rosetta Suite is on there, so as a MIDI effect. So but that kind of sounds it doesn't sound like, but it gives the sort of impression of like a guitar strumming, dun 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 dun. And so the idea is to layer the guitars in there. It's just to add overall effect to what's going on, and it's just a subtle use of different sounds, like sounds that play in your ears, because I've listened to so much kind of Pink Floyd stuff. I'm used to Pink Floyd music, and they're very subtle with their sounds. There's a lot going on, but they're used very subtly, And this kind of music, it lends itself towards just sort of, I don't know, sounds that fill the space a little bit. You know, as far as like where things drift off and come in, there's sort of like emphasis in certain parts of the track and where the track drops. Like where my cousin's so good at playing the guitar, he can really invoke the feeling into the track. And you know, sometimes I end up ripping tracks out of the track because there's too much going on. You know, it's like the old philosophy of less is more sometimes. Totally. But you need to keep, you know, stuff going on in your ears. So it's giving yourself ear candy. You know, there's like when I do dance stuff, it's all full on and there's lots of tracks going on, but this kind of music is very airy, so it doesn't need like a big lead sound in it. The guitar is the main sound for the track, and everything else is just backing to that guitar. Although it gets written the other way round. Although my cousin has the ability, and I think he was in the chat tonight, is he real, is he real?
Oh, that's
He's
him.
in the chat,
cool.
I think. Yeah.
Hello.
So that's my cousin who plays the guitar. So he's very good at being able to listen to the track, and that gives him a feeling. And, you know, he just lays down the track on top of what I've given him. What I was doing was putting too much in the tracks. I was putting lots of arpeggiators, and which sounds lovely, but it doesn't give room for him to play guitar in.
Absolutely.
So it's been a learning curve for both of us. Like I say, my cousin comes from playing live in bands and not sitting in the recording studio. So I've never played live. I don't play an instrument. You know, I don't know chords. I don't know music. I just go by what sounds good in my ear. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. It's like I couldn't tell you if I'm playing a C chord, a D chord. I normally, to get my chords together, use a program called Polypad, and I would just sit there and I'll go through some different chords and kind of put together what chords I think sound nice working together. And on occasion, I've even asked my cousin Gary, you know, if you're playing the guitar over this, what guitar chords work well together for you to play? And then I will go back and I will work a track around the chords that I know are going to slide into each other, because the musical side of it, I'm not that talented to know which chords I'm playing. So, you know, it's even more left to just how it sounds to me. If it sounds right, then to me it is right. Whether it's technically right or technically sounding right, or you shouldn't play that with that, it's not a case of that. It's a case of whether it sounds good in my ear. And that comes from, you know, I'm 50 years old, so it comes to, you know, 38 odd years of listening to Pink Floyd and years of listening to all sorts of music. You know, I know how music is structured and how it sounds. So
absolutely.
if I can provide that, then great.
And you crush it. And, you know, so I think Sai summed it up. Where can I see? Let me scroll back here. So Sai says, if it sounds good, then that's all that matters. Music theory doesn't create music. it just explains why it works. Music theory doesn't create music; it just explains why it works, and that's exactly true. You know, I've played in bands with people who are, you know, think they're Ingwie Malmsteen and they're diddling around, and they're so robotic and horrible that everything they write just doesn't seem to fit. And then the other guitarist in the band is the dude who sits at the beach and just strums away and just feels everything out. And, you know, is self-deprecating, going, I don't know how to play. But that dude was always the better guy in the band who wrote the stuff that people seem to connect with, compared to somebody who was sitting there swatting over what note everything is. And so, you know, it does.
Yeah, I mean, my cousin would tell you he learned to play guitar by laying in his bed with his headphones on, listening to Queen.
Yep.
And he was like, oh, I'd like to be able to play this. So he bought himself a guitar and he just fiddled about until he could get the notes that sounded like the notes Brian May was playing in the Queen record. And he taught himself how to play guitar. He never went to lessons. I don't know how old Gary was when he started to play guitar. Maybe he can put that in the chat. But, you know, I remember from being young, you know, listening to my cousin playing guitar and thinking, oh, wow, you know, that's good. And it gets to a point where I think in some of our family members are musically talented where, you know, they play by ear. Like my mum can play keyboard. You can play her any song you like, and within 5 minutes she can play it on the keyboard. I haven't got that talent, you know. I've pushed my way through it by using an iPad, doing dance music, which you don't need any talent to do. And, you know, now in the last year, you know, I've actually started to think, oh, okay, like this needs to be sounding like this. This needs to be in this kind of thing. So, like, for myself, I'm really only in the last year or 2 years learning not music theory, but I'm like, oh, okay, you can't, if you're playing the D chord, it's made up of these notes. So, yes, you can do an inversion of that. So it includes this note and this note. So if I'm playing an arpeggiator, it's got to be this note, this note, this note, and this note, not just, you know, whereas before in dance music, you just kind of put down anything.
And I want to take this moment to say hi to Russ's mum. Hi! We all love Russ's mum. Look, I wanted to say to Gary while he's here as well, you know, thank you so much. We've got to listen to your playing for ages, and this is the first time we've seen you really got to have you in the chat and have you like answer some questions and stuff about your playing. So it's really cool. I think keep doing this stuff with Russ, because, you know, everyone seems to love it. So whatever you're doing right, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it's working. What I'm going to do now is, Russ, I'm going to open this up in GarageBand, because what Russ has done, he's sent me, so in NanoStudio, he's exported each individual track into a waveform and then sent them to me, and then I've imported them all into GarageBand so you can see what's going on and realize what you can do here. So here they all are in GarageBand. Hopefully GarageBand's going to work for me. There we go. So I'm just going to kick off playing it, and I'm going to go through the tracks so you can see here what is going on. Let's just start by, because you'll see the top track here. This is actually an out 1 and 2, so this is a stereo mix just of the song. So if I solo this, start it around here. There's the whole song. And we'll go back to the start, and I can now press play on here and show you these tracks. So I'll just pump this up, and we'll run through these. Just bring them all in subtly. So these tracks are the Electro Cream, the main guitar, and now we've got the guitar shimmer coming in. I think the next track that comes in is the drums.
Yeah, the drums will drop in.
So I've got those ready here. And then we've got the cello stack. So we'll solo that. There's so much space in this song, it's really wonderful. Got the continua and then the skarka. So what I want to do here is just pull all this out and show you what's going on with the percussion. I'll take out the drums. So what Russ has done here, he's got this skarka track and a click track working together. So it's just a basic click track, right? You can make music with a click track. It's brilliant. It's such a brilliant idea. Let's bring a few more things in. G'day Pete, hello System Ashore. We'll bring in this continua. Really subtle, like a space sound there. In comes the cello. And right at the end comes the two brass instruments. You'll notice up here. These two brass instruments will come in.
So we just won the Champions League final, so you have to excuse me.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? Oh man, that's the best. Are you kidding me? So, folks, if you don't know, we set up this show like this week, and it was all good. And Russ forgot that the football was on, and he's been spewing, going, "Oh man, the football's on. I have to come on here." Yeah, have a celebratory drink, Russ. So you won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations, Russ.
It's a win-win situation tonight.
Yeah. So this is the best. You've won the footy. We're doing a show, and today this is what we're going to do next now. And so now that you've seen how all this was made, folks, now we're going to jump in, and we are going to, for the first time, upload Russ's music to DistroKid for the first time. This is really exciting. So I'll tell a little bit of background. Russ doesn't have a computer, so he hasn't been able to sign up for a DistroKid account. And just remember, everybody, this show is sponsored today by DistroKid. There's a link over there, to get 7% off if you sign up to DistroKid. If you want to release music across streaming platforms, do it, because it's cheap. $19.99 a year to have unlimited music up. You're going to see how easy it is to do it in a second. I can't recommend them enough. Thank you again for sponsoring. Thanks, Tom, for putting the link in there too. Russ doesn't have a computer, and you need a computer to upload the music, unfortunately. So we're going to say it again. I know DistroKid's sick of hearing it. We need an app, DistroKid, so we can do this. Right, we seriously need one. Please, 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 please. We love everything that you do, but if you give us an app, we'll love you even more. So, that out the way. Now, Russ has created his first DistroKid account. We're all set to go. As he doesn't have a computer, he is trusting me so much to... Here we are at the website. I've logged into Russ's account. I have control of everything to do with Russ. Let me just remove this. There we go. So here's Russ's page. As you can see here, it says, it looks like you haven't released anything yet. Check back here once your music is in stores. Rightio. So we are going to release his first song on here. And Jamie says, that's why I'm still using CD Baby. And unfortunately, that's why you still probably get copyright content ID. I'm not going to slag any other company. I'm not saying anything bad there. Right. So let's do this. We're going to upload. So here's how you do it. So you've locked into your DistroKid account. We click the little upload button. And this is how you go about setting up your song. So the first thing you'll see up the top here is all of the stores that you would like to release your music on. And these, when you click on here, they're automatically checked. The only thing that isn't checked, you'll see, is Snapchat. Because if you do want to add Snapchat to the list, you have to sign a kind of waiver. There's a little signature thing at the end of that asks you, is this song your copyrighted material? So if I click on that, I wonder if it does come up. So there you go. Do you own 100% of the publishing rights for this release? Snapchat can only accept releases from artists with full publishing rights to the music. So let's do that. Russ, I'm asking you, because I have to, by law, do you own 100% of the publishing rights, Russ?
Apart from my cousin's guitar playing, yeah.
You're supposed to just say yes.
Yeah.
Right, so we've added Snapchat as well. So as you can see, there's a whole list of artists you go to: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all of that stuff. And as time goes on, they do add more labels that you can add to that. So let's scroll a little bit more. And this is a single that we're releasing. So a single song. You do have the option to add a whole different... That's going to be a problem because my drop-down boxes don't work on here for some reason. There we go. I have to do it there. So it doesn't show on your screen for some reason, but it is a single song. Is it previously released? No. So that's good. Now, you have chosen a band name, and what I'm going to do here first is just scroll down a little bit further, and I'm going to click on this section here and add your image. So from here, it takes you to a screen to add your image from where you've got that saved. And I'm just going to click on that and add that in here. And you should see it populate in a second. So there is the album cover for Russ's album or single. And it needs to be at least 3000 by 3000 pixels. Normally I will make mine about 5000 by 5000 just to be sure. This one in particular is 3500 by 3500, just so it's, nice and clear. Another thing you really shouldn't do, just to give you a hint, if your image is smaller than that, don't try and stretch it and make it bigger than what it already is. Try and find the original photo and make sure it's of the highest quality, because what happens is, and people get confused about this, it's not DistroKid. When you upload the image, sometimes they may reject it, and it's not DistroKid doing this, it's Apple or Spotify, because they're looking for photos that have no blurred images. They want them to be 100% as highest quality as possible, because it's all about their style guide and how the album looks on Apple Music or Spotify. They want the highest resolution, so it makes their platform look fantastic. They always want everything to look as nice as possible, so keep that in mind. So, Russ, tell us why you have chosen, because you've actually chosen the medium plan on here.
Yeah.
Tell us why you did that.
That's because I've chosen the medium plan on DistroKid is because eventually I want to released some of my Russ8889 tunes on here as separate from the stuff that I'm doing with my cousin, which is under the name The Delicate Giant. So it just keeps everything separated. I'm not uploading my own personal stuff, to try and make money out of it or anything. It's just for the fact that I can get Alexa to play it downstairs when I'm in my house. If people want to get it, they're fabulous. But I just felt that it was important to keep these two projects kind of separate, and that's the reason why I paid the extra for an extra account. I think, like you say, the original account is £19.95, and I think for two names it's £35. So it's a slightly more increase, but it's not double the amount of money. So it just means that it keeps it all nice and ship-shape for me, really.
Absolutely. And it's not that much if you use my link up there, distrokid.com/VIP/Jade Starr.
Yeah, well, actually, I got 10% off of the fee because it was through your link. So it's 7% for one, 10%, and it goes up if you get the full. I think if you get the full one, you get like I think it's 20% or something off of it, so it's worth doing.
Pretty fair deal, and that's off the first year, remember. So then it goes back up. But a good thing to do is to and I'm going to show you after we do this some of the tools that DistroKid now offer you to promote to help you get the money. So the next year you've got enough to enough sitting in your bank account to pay the next year's fee, because that's one of the goals I've strived to do with my DistroKid. So the next section here, I've put in the name of the band. So it is the Delicate Giants. Okay.
Yeah.
And now what happens here, you'll see down here, it's populated an artist name down here. So the next section you get is artist already in Spotify? No, the artist is not. So we're going to select that. And is the artist already in Apple Music? No. So we're going to select that. And now it's checking for the availability of this name, and I haven't done this. I haven't tested if this is all going to work. So, please.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I picked out the name, The Delicate Giants. In the old fashion of how David Bowie used to name his songs, he just used to write down all different words on bits of paper, throw them up in the air, and pick them up. And that's exactly what I've done.
There you go. Just said good to go. So the name is all accepted. We're all good. So what's going to happen there, once this is uploaded and it gets approved by DistroKid, then it is sent out to the stores and it will create with Apple and with Spotify this band name. So then anything else that is released after this, you will see when Russ types in the name Delicate Giants, it will come up and say, you already have the songs with this artist, so it'll go directly to this. So it doesn't always work, but I'll show you a bit later. There's a little thing to fix that, and that can happen if you have a same name as somebody else. So it is always important to try and come up with a name that sticks out. You want something to be, even if it's not your real name, yeah? You want something that, and it's good to go through Apple Music or go through Spotify, and if you think a name may have already been taken, go look for it. Go see if it's taken or something like that, because you do want your music to stand out and not be lumped in with someone else who plays some weird music that you don't like. So next up on here, you have the section that says release date. Now, depending on your subscription model that you have, so if it's the free one, if it's the $19.99 one, a few of these features won't be there, right? So you don't really have as much flexibility with adding how much you want your songs to go to and setting up things like pre-releases and such. So we're just going to leave this release date at today, May 29th, 2021. We'll just leave that populated. Now, as you can see here, Russ has got this option here. Would you like to do a pre-order? And we're not going to do that, but this is what comes with the Musician Plus, the middle tier, and the top tier is the label account. Now, I have the label account. I'll show you this a little bit later. So we're going to leave this as no pre-order, but with a pre-order, you can actually set this up, and you can. So you could set this up for a week in advance, and then get some buzz around it as well. So here's the other thing that you get with the musician's account, the second tier. You get to choose your own record label. Now, if you have the 1999 account, you get given a DistroKid label with a number. So, Russ, what have you decided? Have you decided on a record label name?
I mean, that's a bit of a dilemma in itself, isn't it? I did come up with some names last night, and I didn't think they was really appropriate. On thinking about them, not that they was rude or anything. I was trying to include the fact that I'd had a stroke, and I was going to use the word stroke in the title. But on reflection of that, I don't think that's the best idea. Like,
why, Russ?
Why? Well, you know,
because the word stroke is a bit.
You don't really want to stroke one out, do you? Let's face it. So, I didn't want to be known as that kind of record label. Yeah, right. So I haven't given it that much thought. I mean, I'm open to suggestions in the chat, although I can't see the chat because I'm watching the football. But if nothing else sort of jumps out and aspires, then, the record label name doesn't really affect anything. It's just a sort of generic name. So, like Rusty's Records or something would, something like that would be as good as anything else. I think it's not that, like I'm not going to be promoting my music through the actual label name. It's going to be through the artist name anyway. So that's fine for me.
I've put that in. So you want Rusty's?
Yeah, I think so. Rusty's, like
I think that works. So RUSTY''S Records, yeah. Comma.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's not important. The important name to me is A Delicate Giant. So it's just kind of a side thing. It's not something that's going to make a lot of difference in the search engines or.
So we've got some people chiming in. You want to hear them, Russ? So we've got Backstroke Records, Rusty Gate Records, KG Russ Records, KG Russ. Rusty Cage Records.
No, I should call it the Champions League final winners, really, shouldn't I? But no, I think Rusty Records will be quite. It's just a name that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So it's not important to me and my cousin and what we do. It's just something that's there. You have to call it something, so it may as well be that.
I like it too. Thank you, Metalhead Hippie, for the super chat. Boom. There's my second boom for the day. Metalhead Hippie says, buy 2 of Russ's songs for people in the chat today. If you have a promo code for it, congrats, Russ. Peace. Right, so let's head here.
Thanks, Hippie. Thanks for playing this the other day, actually, on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Right, so the next section is you need to choose a genre. So you've got 2 genres to select. You can choose a different language as well, but most people are going to choose English. So your primary genre, you get to choose from. Have you thought about this? So it's alternative, big band, blues, children's music. No, I don't think that's what we're looking for. Christian, gospel, classical, comedy, country, dance, electronic, fitness workout, folk, French pop, German folk. So it's not popping up here for some reason on my screen. Have you thought about one of the rock?
I mean, it's not really. I wouldn't class it as rock. It's more kind of electronica than rock. I don't know. It's like electronic rock. I don't know. It's electronica, I suppose. a kind of generic term that it sits in. I don't know if my cousin thinks different on that at all, but personally, I think it's kind of electronic.
So what I've done, I've chosen electronic for the first one, and what they've DistroKid have added here, they've added sub categories, which is another new thing on here. So I've chosen electronic for the first one, and in the sub thing there is an electronica section. So I've chosen electronica.
Yeah, I mean, electronica down tempo is kind of what it is. So,
and I'll grab. So the second one, we'll put rock in there. Where are we? Where's rock? And there we go. So we've got electronica down tempo rock. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what it is, which makes me think Christ knows what I'm going to call my stuff, because it's all over the place. But
and the next part of it here is the song title. So I've written in Concord. That is the name of the song.
Yeah.
And you'll notice if anybody's used DistroKid before or hasn't, there are some changes here. They have actually changed a lot of the way it looks here. So once you put the song in, there's a section here where you can just hit the plus, and you can add a collaborator who is already on DistroKid. You can put their name in. If they have an Apple artist ID or a Spotify, you can add them in here. This is something you can do later on as well. So you can change this as well. So we'll leave this done for now. You've also got a version here. So if I click on this, and it has a whole bunch of, you can choose if it's a live or a radio edit or a remix. So you've got the option to do that. We're not going to do that. And the next thing we need to do is choose the file. So I'm going to click this choose file section, and I'm going to grab the song. So the song is a WAV file, and we'll throw that in there. Yeah, I love this process. I feel like I'm robbing Russ, because this is one of my favorite parts of releasing a song. I always get butterflies at this time. No, it is, because this is you've been you're with a record label, and you're handing it over to them, and they're just about to drop it. I've got butterflies now in my guts. It's because you're getting everything ready, and you're naming it all, and you're putting it out there. I just find it really exciting. So
no, it's for me, it's good to finally release something on the digital platform, because with my history in music, I've released stuff on vinyl back in the late 80s, early 90s. I've released a CD in the mid 90s. So putting something on a digital platform kind of completes the circle for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think as well, I'm not sure, but I think it's my cousin's first ever release on record or whatever. I don't know if he's cut a record in the studio or something before. I don't know. So that's good to be able to guide people to listen to it. If people say, "What are you doing? What stuff are you doing?" It's just another an arm in his bow that he can say, "Oh, I'll go and have a listen to this. It's on iTunes or Spotify or whatever." I think that's quite nice.
Absolutely. So I've put in in this section here, folks, songwriter's real name. And it is important that you put in your real name here, because this is where you're going to get paid. So if you put in Joe Joison, and it's not your name, or your stage name, if you're called Sting, say, it's not real. I guess if that's his real name these days, but it is important to put in your real name here. So I've put in your real name there. And then we get up to the next few sections. So, Russ, does your song have explicit lyrics?
No, it has no lyrics.
Absolutely. And it's
unbelievable for me, really, but no explicit lyrics.
The next section is this a radio edit? So you can see here it says, no, this song is clean and always has been. Yes, there is an explicit version of this song, but this is a clean or censored version of it. So we're ticking no here.
No.
Because it's not a radio edit. Is it an instrumental? This song contains lyrics.
Yes.
It is an instrumental.
No, it is an instrumental.
So we're going to select This song is an instrumental. It contains no lyrics. There you go. And Pete Johns did suggest too, I saw earlier, that the name of your band website is available. So if you want to do it, thedelicategiants.com is available. So it's always that's a next step kind of thing if you want to sort that out.
I'm not that worried, to be honest with you.
All right, so we have here the next section is a preview clip start time. So you can actually choose a part of the song where you want it to start for the preview. So do you want to do that, or just? I
don't know how many seconds that would be where the drums kick in, I suppose, would be.
Let's find out, shall we?
The preview part.
Let's find out, because I've got it open here in YouTube. So I'll flick over to here, and let's hear where the drums come in. So I think it's around 1 minute 8.
Yeah, I mean, that's good enough for me.
Perfect, 1 minute 8. So let's go back and we'll do that. So we can hit 1 minute and 8 seconds, and that is where the preview will now kick in. How cool is that? So you can choose where you want that to start. So, you know, and that helps. It's important to think about those things, because that helps people decide. You know what people are like? They listen to grabs of music, and people have such a short attention span. So if you can grab them at a moment in the song that excites them, that's going to just benefit you and help you make some more money than maybe what you would before. So here's another thing that you do get with having this musician's account. You get to decide how much money we're going to charge for this. So you've got 69 cents US, 99 cents US, or 129 US, Russ.
Can you put $100 million?
$1 million.
99 cents is fine.
99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. All right, so here's what I suggest everybody does when releasing a song like this. Once you've got all these details in, go back to the top and double check everything, yeah? Make sure everything's good. So we've got one song, it's a single, previous released, no, The Delicate Giants, spelt correctly, yeah? Artist isn't already on Spotify and Apple. We've gone through that. The release date is today. Pre-order no. Rusty's record, spelt correctly. The album artwork is uploaded and is the right size. We've selected the music genres. The name of the song is spelt correct there. Oh, this is the exciting bit. The main artist is selected as the main artist in there. You also have Russ as the songwriter. He's by his real name, music and lyrics. Explicit lyrics are off. The song is in here, so that's ready to go. The track's in there. And the reason you do this, exactly as Pete has written here, you really don't want to have to make changes after the release, because it's a pain in the bum, and you don't want to have to re-upload your song. So, you know, go over this with a fine-tooth comb. It's important. Radio edit, no. Instrumental, song has no lyrics. We've picked the start time of the clip. We've chosen the price, and we're all good to go. So now here is the next section of the upload, and this is the additional extras that you can add. And most of these cost money, so be well aware of that. The first one is YouTube Content ID for $4.95 US a year, plus 20% of YouTube's ad revenue. You can add copyright ID to it. And what this means is every time somebody uses this song on a video on YouTube, they will get a copyright claim, and the money from that YouTube video will get directed to you. Now that sounds all fantastic, but remember, you're paying for this service every year, $4.95 a year, and it applies to you also. So if you upload your own song, you will get a copyright claim against your own song as well. Yeah? So my advice is don't do it. Just be cool, man. Let people play your music, eh? Why not? It's only going to draw more people to your music at the end of the day. So, Russ, would you like me to select copyright content ID?
Yeah, of course
right,
I would.
cool, no problem.
No, leave that one out, thank you.
All right. So the next one is Store Maximizer. And how this works is, you'll see right at the top here where we chose all of the places these go to. Store Maximizer is like an automated service. So whenever new labels, new distribution services are added to DistroKid, for $7.95 a year, they will automatically add the new ones to your songs. Yeah. But it's costing you. But in saying that, if you don't pay for it, you can go back manually and check if there's been any new ones and add them yourself. But if you're a lazy bones, you can pay $7.95 to do that. Russ, would you like to do that?
No, because I got you to do that for me, haven't I?
So this is a new feature underneath here. So this is called the social phone number. And basically how this works is, so this costs $12.99 a year. Basically, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of phone numbers here. And DistroKid gives you the choice to create a phone number for your artist, an SMS mobile number. And in saying that, you can collect people's phone numbers like an old email mailing list, and you can use this this SMS number to text people when you've got things coming out. So this is a pretty cool feature. If it's worth that much, that's up to you. That's not for me to say. But, you know, if you have quite a big following, $12.99 a year is like nothing, yeah? So, $12.99 a month. Thanks, Scott, for pulling me up on that. So $12.99 a month. But, you know, if you're a big artist and you've got a lot of followers, definitely something that could be very powerful for you. I would suggest that at the level we're all at, us commoners, probably not going to be something that I would look into at this time, but another great option to have, you know. So you never know. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you this, you really can't tell when a song's going to blow up. I currently have some music on my account that's really blown up, and I had no idea, and it's getting heaps and heaps of listens on Spotify. Until then, for 3 years before, like 10 years before, nobody listened to those tracks. Now I'm getting like 3,000 plays a day. It's ridiculous. So, you know, this is something that's going to be, you know, probably something in the future that is going to be big. As Pete's put here, texting is becoming the go-to platform. People don't read emails. So, yeah, there you go. I'm guessing you don't want to do that. We've got another option here.
No, I don't think
99 cents or $1 a year, you can add Shazam and iPhone Siri. We've got Tidal Music. So this is a one-time fee of $8.99, and you can add your music to Tidal Master. So this is a master service where you get a badge on your Tidal account. And the last one is $29 one-time fee. This is the Leave a Legacy. DistroKid will never delete this single, even if you cancel your account or your credit card is declined. You can always choose to delete at any time or not. If you could, you will continue to accrue all royalties as normal, and this is something to do maybe if you think you're going to die, because I've done this on a few of my tracks.
Well, that's when you become famous, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're not going to check any of these just to make sure.
No, I don't think there's any need for any of them.
So the next thing we need to do is we're going to check these important things here. So I selected YouTube Music as a store, so I won't email DistroKid later asking, why did you upload my music to YouTube? Is that okay? Yes.
Yeah.
I have opted into Snapchat and confirmed that I possess the necessary rights to Snapchat. I think we already covered that.
Not that I ever used it.
No. Russ, did you record this music, and are you authorized to sell it in stores worldwide and collect all royalties? Yes.
Yes.
I think so. You're not using any other artist's name, or other in their titles or album titles without their approval? No. And you have read and agreed to the terms of the DistroKid distribution agreement.
Like I read all terms and conditions, yes.
Exactly. So that is it, folks. We've checked, we've double checked, everything's ready to go. All we need to do here is just hit the big done button, And this is always a bit when my stomach starts to flip out. All right, so let's do it. Let's hit the button and go. And you will see it will start uploading the album artwork. Album artwork is up, and now we are uploading. So the track is a WAV file. Don't upload an M4A or an MP3. Make sure it is a WAV file, your highest quality, right? You want the highest quality because once it goes to Apple, once it goes to Spotify, they pile their compression on top and it gets squashed anyway. So you always want to make sure you're uploading highest quality WAV file, your master track. Funnily enough, I mastered this track. like I master all Russ's music.
The check's in the post, don't worry.
Oh, good. We are off. Yeah, I know, Australian internet speeds. And I'm on the NBN here, so I'm normally pretty fast. So we're nearly there. We're nearly there. We're done. Oh, it's exciting. Look at that. It's done. 100%. So what happens next? It takes you to the next screen. I'm pretty sure. Yep, it's loading up the next screen and it'll tell us done. That was easy, wasn't it? So there we go. Russ's track is now sitting on DistroKid waiting to be approved and ready to go. What happens next is they check the track, they check out the image, and then once they have made all the checks to make sure everything's good, then they send it out to the stores for all of the stores to actually approve it from there. And then everything is good, and we wait for Russ to get his emails letting him know that the track will be released. The next thing you can do from here is you'll see get to work. We've made a pre-save page to get you more listeners. So you can actually hit this little preview button here and it'll bring up this lovely little page, and you can save this page and then add it to your Facebook page or your Twitter, and this is your pre-save. So it gives you a Spotify pre-save, and when you hit play, that's the selection that Russ chose. Sorry for being so loud there. I didn't expect that. Bang! There you go. So, and you can even go in here and customize this if you want. There's a little customize button. You get a whole lot of things. You can edit the page. You can do a whole lot there. We won't go into all the odds and ends of that. And next, let's go back to DistroKid here. Now that it's done, oh yeah, I should drop the hyperfollow thing in chat. Thanks, Pete. Let's do that. I'm really not awake today. Mind you, it is very early in the morning here. Copy. Let's put it in the chat. So all of you can head over and there we go. Head over and go and click the link and get ready for its release. Pre-save it, folks. There you go. So what happens next? We'll head back over to this page here. There we go. So, and we'll scroll back up. Now I'm going to head over to the My Music tab. There we go. And now you'll see here is Russ's track sitting here, all waiting to go. And if I click on the track, you'll get some more information. You'll get a photo of the track. You'll get the information, the UPC code that has been allotted to it. You'll get information saying this: artwork is good. Song, all good. All good. Everything looks nice, and it's all been here. Everything looks good. Your single is on deck, and it will be sent to stores today. Boom! How easy is that? Yeah. Congratulations, Russ. I'm so thankful that you trusted me to come on the show today and share, how you made your song. You've allowed me to master it, and you've allowed me to actually be a part of releasing your first track. So that's...
Oh, well, thank you, and thank DistroKid as well.
Absolutely. What I'm going to do now, and you should be getting emails soon from DistroKid. I won't get them, just saying, hey, it's all good, we're all happening. So I'm just going to jump over to this boring screen here. What can I do? Let's go back here to us two boring folk. And I'm going to now just make sure on my screen here. What can I do here? If we hit promote, let's see. All right, so I think I can do some of the things in here. So let's head back. Just make sure I can do it. Yeah, cool. Let's head back over to the browser. And we'll go back to your music. Alrighty. Okay, so here's Russ's song. I just want to run through a couple of the things that you can do with DistroKid to promote your music. All right, because this is something I see a lot of people talking about. How do I promote it now that it's done? DistroKid give you a whole bunch of tools, whole bunch of goodies you can play with to distribute it. So if we click goodies up here, awesomely said, you've got a little link here called promote yourself. So here's where you'll find that hyperfollow link that we made and I put in the chat just before, so you can go and check that landing page and you can alter it if you want. So you'll find that in there. Underneath we've got a little thing called mini videos. Let's have a look at this. So if I click on that, mini videos, there we go, and you get a whole bunch of these little templates that are made for social media. Yeah, so they've got these little backgrounds and stuff. You see one's got fire here. We've got like, oh, see, I hate these things. These are the creepiest things ever, these little dancing. Do you know, I'm so scared of these things. When I see them on out the front of someone's shop, I literally cross the road. I hate those things so much. I have nightmares of it. So I'm going to pick this one just because I hate them. Right, so if you click on this, what it does, let's just click on it. It gives you this whole little section here with Tube Man, and you can pick your song, go in here, and you can pick the song. So now you can see, you can actually create a little ad to put on like Instagram or whatever, and you can put an announcement in there. You can write whatever you want in here. And here's your artist name. You can put the song name. You can choose where you want it to start. So let's do like, what do we want? 1 minute, what was it? 1 minute 08. There we go. And you can add your artwork, and then you just hit this little generate mini video, and this is free. This is all part of your DistroKid account. And it goes ahead and it makes the video. So here you can see it, processing takes about 5 minutes to do. You can close this page now, because when you come back, it'll be sitting there waiting for you, yeah? So there's one little thing you can use to create your promotion. So let's open another one, and let's just right-click on this and open a new tab. So we'll leave that open anyway. Goodies. What other goodies do we have, yeah? So promote yourself. You have a meme generator as well. So this thing's really cool. If we click on this, see we've already got this one going, this little one going here. But if I click on here, make a new video, and you can't see the options, I'm just going to pick this one, the Baby Yoda one. So basically what it does is you get, I think it's a selection of 5 different videos, and you can add a scene from a movie. There's a scene from Clerks, there's a scene from The Mandalorian here. And it'll add your music to this scene from Mandalorian with Baby Yoda dancing to it. So you can make these cool little videos, make one with your song, and you just hit yes, choose the song, Baby Yoda, skip to exactly what we did there. So 1 minute and 8. Let's do that. Sorry you can't see the drop down boxes. So we'll generate that video as well. And there we go. We've got 2 videos. This one's taken a couple of minutes to go as well. In the meantime, we can head over to this page. Oh, where were we? We can head over to here, and let's. Where are we? So this is this one. So this is generating. It's okay to close this page. This one's nearly finished. It'll tell us when it's finished, and we'll have a look at these in a second. And then I'll show you one more cool feature, which is something I definitely suggest all of you do, because I've done it and I've had success with it, right? It's very, it's there for free. I definitely recommend doing it because it has helped get my music on Spotify playlists. And if you're feeling a bit like looking at your money and going, I'm not making money from this, go and do it. These things are free. Okay, so we've got... let's have a look at these two videos. So we've got this one here. Can I view it? It's not letting me. Maybe I can download this one. So I've downloaded the MP4 of the Yoda video. And... all right, this one's loading. So here's the video that you... pretty cool, yeah? Apart from the weird blow up man thing. All right. So I've downloaded the Yoda video. I'll play that right at the end. As Pete's put here, DistroKid are always experimenting with new things. And, you know, they're always trying to add new features. So these little goodies here are really cool. The last one I'm going to kind of show you, let's see, with Promote Yourself, is, and I'm not going to pay for this just because it'll take too long to do this. You also have a Visi video generator. So let's open this one. And so this one actually costs money. So it's a once-off payment as well. And if you don't have the skills to create a video on your iOS device or whatever you're using to want to make videos, you can do this and pay a once-off fee. So when we hit click get started, you've got a whole bunch of templates here that you can choose from to create a video. And there's a bunch of different sizes. So for this one, I'm going to select this, just this one here. Now, off the bat, you get a whole bunch of different sizes. So you can see across the top, you can have this long form for like Instagram or Facebook videos or Snapchat. You can also change it like this. So for your YouTubes or a YouTube video, or you can also select a square video. That's totally up to you. You can see over here, you can choose those from here. You can choose your song. So once you choose your song, we're going to hit Concord. You can choose your artist name, the song title, how you want it to look, and it'll place the album into this video. Then you choose, so we're going to choose this this horizontal for YouTube, Facebook, and here you'll see you've got prices here. So it's $8.99, a once-off payment, billed to your card that's attached to your Spotify account. And then you'll get a download of the actual video. And as you can see here, this is cool. If you add another size, you get a 10% discount. So if you take two of them, so if we take two there, the price should drop. Let's go down. And you'll see you've got $16.18. So they've made two videos. Now, the other thing which isn't showing here, if you've got lyrics, because you can actually go in, it's another feature with DistroKid, you can add lyrics to your songs. If you do have lyrics attached, a little section will pop up to add your lyrics, so you'll create a lyric video as well. Really cool stuff, yeah? Super cool. And this is the full length of your song. This is a full, video clip practically. And if your lyrics are on there, you can add that as well. I think when you add lyrics, it adds a little bit more to it. A little bit of a more cost. I think it's only I think it's about $5, I think, by memory. I think it's $4.95 to add the lyrics. But again, a really, really cool little feature there if you don't have the skill to do that. Yeah, because lyric videos, they can be super painstaking to make. Yeah. So that is that. We'll just drop out of this. I won't charge this to your account, Russ, I promise. And the last thing I'm going to show you is let's see, is here. When you click on goodies, you've got these options here. So slaps.com is a free service that if you have a DistroKid account, you already can use Slaps and you can upload music there, and amongst a whole community of people you can share your music there. It's a free service. You don't even need a DistroKid account to join Slaps. But here we are. This is the playlist spotlight. get voted onto DistroKid community playlist. So let's click on this and show you what this is about. Now, on my DistroKid account, I have a whole heap of these. I have about 6 of these going all at once for each of my artists. And this is how I actually got into some playlists, and now I'm getting an absolute crap load of stuff. So all you need to do is add your track. You can see up the top, add your track. And we can't do it on here. Why? Because Russ's song hasn't actually gone through. So what I'm going to do is just jump over here. This will be the last thing we're showing you, and we'll go back to me and Russ. So Russ, while I'm setting this up, how do you feel that your music is finally going up online on DistroKid?
Right, winning the Champions League. Yeah!
That's all that matters.
No, I appreciate you doing that for me, Jade. Thank you.
It's no problem at all. Let me just sign out, and I'll sign into my account here, if I can. Sign in. There's my account. And okay, that didn't work. I want to sign into my account, not Russ's account. Let's try that one more time. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Hambo, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Great show. Love the DistroKid demo. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. We're logging into mine now. Here we go. Now we're into mine. Cool. Let's jump back over here. So this is mine. As you can see, I have a lot of releases. There you go. A lot of releases on my DistroKid account. I have some split royalties with Pete Johns. And let me just show you how cool this is. As the last thing, so goodies. Get heard now. Playlists, spotlight. And wait for this to load. And I've already added tracks, so I'll show you what tracks I have here. These are the tracks I have. So as you can see, I've chosen a song with some profanity in it. Of course. So my utensils...
You couldn't go all night, could you? Eh?
I know. I didn't say it, man. I haven't sworn once. But as you can see, look at this information. This is on Spotify, and look how many matchups I've had. So there's a whole lot of people who are actually matching up with this stuff. People are actually like getting a hold of this, and it's getting on playlists. So you can see here, Human Centipede Conga Line by FMC. You can see World Divided by Metheist. This is actually getting to people. And FMC for me at the moment is getting heaps of traction on Spotify. Why? Because I'm doing things like this. I'm using the actual DistroKid services that they provide. And you can see DreadCircus. And you can add as many songs as you like. You can go to your heart's content. So I can add a new track now. Let's just do it. So let's choose another FMC song because I've had so much success with FMC. So let's do that. FMC. We'll choose Surprise Chef, Cooking with Cum. Let's do Is it on here? There we go. Surprise Chef. Right. I'm not going to choose. So there's the song. And I can connect with Spotify here. And what will happen here, because I've already got an FMC song up here, this will replace that one, yeah? So because I've had one up there for a while, I'm going to do that now. So I want to change this to a different song. So it'll reset all my votes, because you can see all those numbers were votes. So I'm going to hit yes and continue. Let's do that. Oh, it wants to log in with, let's just do this. Let's just jump back to me and you, so we don't have any things popping up, any horrible things like that. Okay, I think we're all good. Just make sure. And I think that is done. Let's have a look at my tracks. What did I choose? I chose FMC, didn't I? Let's do this. Surprise Chef. Here we go. Okay, so now we're submitting. And there you go. That's what comes up. We're rooting for you. So now I can copy this link as well. And I can go and paste this in places like Facebook or anywhere that's got social media. And other people from outside of like Spotify and all this, they can go and vote on it and help it get into playlists. So there's a whole bunch of tools you can use here. These aren't the only tools as well. You've got so many other things you can do with DistroKid. Let me just jump back. Oh, that's this one. Just jump back over here. So make sure if you have a DistroKid account, go and explore. Go and check out these things. You've got this wheel playlist where you can spin the wheel once a day. So you can, it's a fun little game you can play where you can spin the wheel, just like the Wheel of Warts. You can pick a song. Let's pick a song. We'll do this and then we'll head off. Let's pick FMC. Where we got FMC. We'll choose the song that we just put up there. So, Surprise Chef. And we hit connect, which it should already be connected. That's all good. Now I can spin the wheel and you get 3 spins. There we go. And what happens is it gives you a position in the DistroKid playlist on Spotify. So I've been given position 1347. Let's try it again. You want to get as low as possible. And you get one more. Give me another one. Come on, number 2. There we go. So I got my song's in position number 529. And I think you can do this. I think it's once every day or something like that. You can check out the playlist it's now gone on to. So just there you go. So there's a whole lot of great options that are sitting in here within. If you've got a DistroKid account, go in, check all these things. Check your access. You can check out things like where your YouTube channel is. You can enhance your music. You can add lyrics in here. You've got all these promoting things like promo cards, meme videos, all this kind of stuff. There is heaps of flexibility, yeah? So now, if you're thinking about making music, there's no better time than now. And that is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So, we are at the end. Thank you all for hanging out with us today. Thank you so much, Russ, for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank everyone for coming here. Thanks for my cousin for coming and turning up tonight. And thanks to my wife, Liz, who I can see in the chat there. I'll be releasing a track for her on Monday because it's her birthday next week. So if you want to listen to that, that'll be out on YouTube on Monday. And no, thank you for doing that for me. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. I love your work, Russ. I mean, you're a great friend of mine. I'm so thankful that I could do this today. I'm so happy that your music's finally out. That's brilliant. And I just also want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you for hanging out with us for the 2 hours. I know it's been a bit of a long show. I want to let you know also, I do have a show coming up a bit later today, so in a few hours' time. If you are interested, please come along and join me because I am doing a tribute to Mike Patton in a few hours' time. So if you're into Mike Patton, Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, and you want to see me do some crazy Mike Patton vocals, I'll be doing those in a few hours' time for the opening hour. So the video's on my front page of the YouTube channel. Go over, hit a reminder, and come and join me for that. And that's opening for Pete Johns' happy hour. Mine's the opening hour. His is the happy hour, opening for happiness. And I just once again want to thank DistroKid for kindly sponsoring the channel. DistroKid, what more can I say? They're fantastic. I've got all my releases out there. Russ now has, and I know many of you do. If you would like to join up with DistroKid, please use my link because you get a discount. And it makes me happy. And it makes everybody happy, yeah? Alrighty, that'll do it for today. Thank you, Russ, so very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Love your work. Love you all. Hey, do the things that make you happy. Make mistakes because they make you better, and keep making music, my friends, because a world without music is a world that is in the toilet. Damn straight. We're going to go out once again with Russ's track Concord, in case you haven't heard it enough. let's do it one more time. Take care, everybody. And Russ, you can mute your mic right now, like I'm going to as well.
Yeah, no problem.
See you later, guys. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.